What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up,
Hey
everybody?
there, hey there, hey there.
Hello, everybody. Another weekend with Unfiltered, No Chaser. How are you all doing today? My brothers, how are y'all doing
It
today?
was a great day. It was a great day today.
It was a great
Absolutely.
day. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So, look, everybody, we want to show you our shirts that we got. Me and EJ have on. We're just Unfiltered, No Chaser. Give a shout out to Justin. What is it? Justin, just do it.
JustDoesIt.com, Mr. Justin Douglas out of the DMV. He's down in that area. He's from the
Let me
ATL.
turn
He's
this way so you
fellow
can see my
fellow
shirt, my
fellow
shirt, my
Morris
shirt,
Brown
my shirt.
College Brownite.
So what's going on, everybody? So
All
let's let's
right.
let's do our introductions real quick. I am Nitra. I live in the great DMV. Ha ha. Okay, so I live in the great DMV. As everybody knows, that I am a jack of all trades, a master of some. I love entrepreneurship. I work for a full time job. I am a IT professional, program director for the Department of None of Your Business, and so I am a mother of generational children. One in the Navy, one in college, and one that is only 13 years old. This weekend, I have the luxury to have my bonus baby. My bonus baby is here this weekend. He's upstairs. I hope he don't come downstairs today. But he is upstairs with his auntie, and we have a surprise. Well, two surprise guests today that I'm
Mhm.
very excited about, and I'm going to turn it over to LB. B.
What up, what's up, what's up? Thanks, Nitra. Thanks again, guys, for allowing me to come back and
Hey,
invade your
Malcolm.
space for this weekend. Again, my name is Lawrence. I am from Columbus, Georgia, but I am residing now in the great garden state of New Jersey. My background is in political science with a BA. I have a master's in human resources, and my background is in international and global human resources. I've been doing that for about 16 years now. And again, thanks so much for allowing me to be a part of your entertainment, even for today. And now I
Yes.
will pass it over to
To
EJ.
EJ.
Hey. Hello, everybody. I'm Erskine E.J. Alexander, and I'm checking in from the great city of New York. I live out in the burbs, and I am a mental health clinician as well as an actor as well. I am a husband, I'm a father, and I've been working in the Department of Psychiatry now, doing this line of work for God, but
20 years.
yeah, 20 years, 20 years.
Yeah,
So,
we just had the anniversary.
yeah, just the anniversary on June 4th. I've been married this year, going on 15 years, and I am the father of a lovely 12, 11 and a half year old. So
Oh,
it's great. It's great, and it's always a great every Saturday to be able to come into your homes and just to talk about everything. You know,
Yes.
the purpose of
yeah,
this show. It was created to just bring
Yes.
awareness to what's going on in the current topics. And it was also created because of the quarantine, because of
Yeah.
the whole process of this whole coronavirus stuff and just everything that's going on. So just to get your
Yeah.
insight. And so it's a blessing to be able to always come to home every Saturday with my lovely class of 95 Carver High School, Columbus, Georgia graduate. Mr. LB
Yes.
and Nitra. LB and
Yes.
Nitra.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
right. That's
Yes.
we
right.
forgot to throw that little tool out there that we are all Carver High School class of 95 graduates, and it's such an
That's
honor
right.
and blessing to be able to unite on
Yes.
such a phenomenal
Yes, we
platform.
are.
25 years later.
All right.
Ooh. Ooh,
Don't
that's a mighty,
don't,
mighty long
don't,
time.
don't get carried away with numbers now. Don't
A
get carried away.
Don't
mighty
get
long
carried away
time.
with the numbers.
Right. So, I mean, because we got these two amazing guys
Right.
that I have the pleasure of meeting, I want to just go ahead and get into it, and let's talk about Juneteenth real quick.
Right.
So, the question that I posted when I set up the Juneteenth, I basically said, when did you know about Juneteenth? Like, was it in high school? Was it in college? Was it when you got grown? Do you celebrate it? Yes or no? Why and why not? Do you think that it'll become a federal law? But before we do that, let me give you
Mm,
a little education on Juneteenth.
sure.
Juneteenth Juneteenth, June 19, 1865 is known and recognized as Juneteenth. This is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States. This is a day of celebration for the freedom of black people in this country. Enslaved people have already been emancipated but just didn't know it yet. The announcement wasn't shared until 2.5 years later. Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1865. So, my brothers, why do you think it took them so long to find out 2.5 years later? And I'm look, we're not going to talk about the how long it took people to travel back in those days. We're not going to do that because it took people 3 days to get from where I currently sit to DC, which takes me 30 minutes if I'm in a car. It took them three days to get to where I'm at now. But why do you think it took them so long to actually you know find out that they were free just for them to turn into sharecroppers on the back end?
Well, I mean, it's one of the things that you. So it's two things happening simultaneously, right? So
Hmm.
we need to take a moment to at least acknowledge that there is federal legislation or executive legislation that states that on a particular day that these sets of individuals or these sets of humans will not be enslaved as in accordance to the government. Now, of course, we all know everything that happened from 1865 up until June 20th, 2020. We all know that type of history. But the one thing that I realized, in preparing for the show this week, is that it took them that long, not necessarily because of the journey, but because along the way they had to literally stop and sort of declare, because it wasn't just Texas that didn't know. There were a lot of people along the route that they had to stop and give this proclamation. They also had a Union Army that was behind them as well, to make sure that they were actually following what the emancipation, has stood for. Their last part of the route just so happened to be in Galveston. So I think that's why, when you get to Juneteenth, it talks about, with Galveston, being that part. That's why it's so huge in Texas, because they spent a good part of their time
In
in
Texas.
Texas before they got to that piece. Also, there was a my grandmother used to buy. I can't think of it. I think it's called Olin Meal or A&M or something like that. The guy used to sell stuff out of the back of his car. I'll never
Hmm.
forget it when I was little. But he always used to sell these African American calendars, and it had all of this African American history on it. And of course, I didn't know what it was, but I always wondered what Juneteenth was, because I was getting it confused with Flag Day. I
Hmm.
don't know why. I always thought it was a misprint. It was only until I went to Albany State University, Albany, Georgia, and we had to take an African diaspora class. And
Mm.
that's when I found out about Juneteenth. And it shocked me that I had no idea. I saw it before, but I had no idea what it was. And then afterwards, it's like, wow, I didn't even know that this even existed. Even though we all know about, they all tell us about the Emancipation Proclamation.
Right, because I was getting ready to say I did not get taught that in school, and we went to one of the
Yeah,
blackest schools in
yeah,
Columbus, Georgia,
yeah,
and we
yeah.
did not get taught this in school. I was active duty when I first heard of Juneteenth, and when I heard about it, they just made it sound like it's just like I don't know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
grandparents' day.
yeah.
They didn't make
You
it
know,
as big as as big as it really is.
Right.
So I was a little taken aback as I started digging more and more and trying to find out about Juneteenth and the
Nitra,
significance.
I'll cut you off. Who did you have for world history for 12th grade? You
Don't
remember?
no.
I had
So,
Miss Lewis.
Nobody
Lewis.
matters other than no, it wasn't Miss Lewis either. Nobody was important other than Miss Florence. So
I knew you was going to say
and
that.
Miss Miss
Yep.
Johnson. math and English and good old Ernest Webb for band. So other than that, I don't remember who I had
So
for
they
what.
said,
I don't remember,
well,
but I do know that I was never taught that. I do know that.
well, the reason why I bring that up is because me and Erskine took Mr. Lewis, and
Yeah.
Mr. Lewis was a
I think my
short little
brother
white
took Mr.
guy.
Lewis
Yeah.
too.
I think Brian did.
I think he
He
took
was
Mr.
from
Lewis.
he was from a suburb of Massachusetts. He came down and he actually tried to have us to have a Black history lesson in school. And I forgot who the new principal was, but Mr. Lewis called hell because, and mind you, Mr. Lewis was a white guy.
Yeah.
He was trying to actually give us more of an African American history. But he even, he found that he had some pushback, not only from our school administrators, but also from Muskogee County. Because of course, we all get our, we get our education where the education is funneled through, the state, and then they have the Board of Education from the state that sort of delivers what education we should be learning. But Mr. Lewis tried to thwart that, and he lost. He taught us some stuff, as much as he could. But I know that he got kiboshed because I remember him coming in one day and his whole entire lesson plan stopped. So again, this is a white guy in an all Black school trying to teach all these Black kids, some, additional
Something about their
African American
history.
history.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
even shut him down. So again,
Yeah.
sometimes we can be our own problem.
Well, you have to also realize too that teachers do not really set up their curriculum. Their
No, I
curriculum
realized that
is
when I got
yeah.
older.
Well, I learned that when I used to substitute. They don't set their curriculum up.
Hmm.
There is a state guided curriculum that they have to go by. That's why they
Hmm.
push so hard on certain things when it comes to testing and everything.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not here to talk about the school system right now because that's a whole nother segment. But
Sure.
but but as I look back, like I told you all before, I'm saddened that I did not experience the historically Black college experience. If
Oh
I
yeah.
could do it all over again, I would. But I just think of you know blackness being like school days where you would have learned that stuff, or what's this show with Denise
Different
Huxtable,
world.
Different World, where you
Yeah.
would have learned all of that culture, that rich culture. So I'm just kind of sad that I didn't get to experience that because I would have been out there with my elephants and whatnot.
Oh, oh, no, we're putting that out there now, right? We're putting the elephant in the room.
But no, I'm not a
Okay.
Delta. I'm not a Delta. I just love elephants. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but I was a Delta teen in high school. But I'm not a Delta. I don't claim to be a Delta or any of that stuff. So
Sure.
Malcolm is. I used to work with Malcolm. So Malcolm said in his senior high school, a forward-thinking teacher convinced our school to start an African American history program, and
Wow.
that was given as an elective. And
Wow.
I think that's pretty good. I think there's a
That is
lot of
amazing.
things that we could do better as a school. But again, we don't want to
Hmm.
talk about school today. It's the
Yeah.
summer. We had a hard time as being substitutes to our kids this year. So
Yeah.
so let's not go too
Sure.
far off of it. But I just think I think that Juneteenth would be good for a federal holiday as well. We have way too many things that we celebrate, and it's like, well, why are we celebrating that holiday? Because really, he didn't really do that, But whatever. But my question is, if they did make Juneteenth a holiday, because they have put paperwork in to make it a federal holiday,
They have.
do you think everybody gets to partake in that? Like everybody gets to partake in that? Like everybody partakes in the 4th of July? Do you think it should be a paid federal holiday?
I think so.
I'll let EJ take that. Go ahead,
I think
EJ.
so. I definitely think so. I think it should not be watered down or anything of that nature. Just like we have to take off for the 4th of July, I think Juneteenth should be the same thing.
Yeah.
It should be a paid holiday. My wife was working for a company that didn't celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday, so she had to actually take that day off from work to recognize Martin Luther King Day, which I don't understand it at all. So if you're going to make it a federal holiday, then absolutely, I'm all for
Yeah.
it being a paid holiday where people stay out of work. It should be celebrated.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready to say that. Well, I get into something to similar to that fact, to say that MLK is a federal holiday, but there are some
Malcolm X
states.
is not. So why is that?
Correct, but right. Well,
that's a whole nother.
I'm sure
that's a whole other
topic.
I'm like, add that one on there to the list of tangents that will happen.
Right.
But there are a couple of states that don't celebrate it and they don't observe it. Excuse me. And I think that people will conflate this between a patriot, right? So we have two things. We have religion that everybody celebrates, right? So we're looking at Christmas, Easter, Good Friday.
They're all Christian Christian holidays.
Correct.
That is given to be celebrated in time off.
That is correct. Then, right? So I'm thinking of 2 points, right? So the reason why I don't think that even if they do pass it federally, I think that there are going to be a lot more states that opt out of it. And I'm going to tell you why. So the second piece of that is that you have your, what I call your patriotic days, right? So you have President's Day, then you have Lincoln's birthday, Washington's birthday, 4th of July, Veterans Day, Memorial Day.
Those are not major holidays.
I said they are patriotic holidays.
You did say that.
All right. So with that, you have a lot more of the country that is going to support them because you can encapsulize the entire country, right? What happened?
Malcolm, go ahead.
So with that, you now have Juneteenth, and Juneteenth, you're going to tell everybody in this country and in this nation that you want to celebrate the liberation and the freedom of people who were enslaved in this country.
Oppressed. They were oppressed.
And oppressed. I will agree with that as well. And oppressed.
And then you made them sharecroppers. Okay.
And indentured servants and all of that.
Malcolm, I did not want to say that. That's why I said Malcolm, get out my head. You know we think a lot. And
this is
I already know where this is going.
To Malcolm's point, this is exactly the point. Because I hate to say this, not saying that white is right and black is wrong, but there is an effort to make sure that we can't even accept black existence in this country. That's why we're having Black Lives Matter, all of these rallies and police brutality. So now I think I was watching on a news channel not too long ago, maybe earlier this week, that were saying that now, yes, we understand police brutality is too much, but let's have one thing at a time. And I think Juneteenth will set this country over the edge as a federal holiday. I honestly believe it. And I think it's going to sit there on Mitch McConnell's desk because it's not going to go anywhere unless Mitch McConnell approves it. It's going to sit on. Well, I was going to say something that was going to be very, very bad because I don't wish evil and death on anyone. But it's going to sit on his desk just like all those other bills that sit on his desk. Right. Exactly.
Malcolm and I think a lot.
Well, I see this. And so that's why I think it's imperative that we understand that it should be a national holiday. It absolutely should be a national holiday. The reason why MLK gets so much recognition is because he is the one that the country as a whole can accept.
Well, you can't. You. How can you not accept the country as a whole to get rid of the daggone slaves? How do you not accept that? We're not slaves anymore. So how do you not accept that? We don't accept Columbus. We're not. No. Well, I was about to call you the N-word because last time I checked, I paid my own freaking mortgage.
Whoa. No, what I'm saying is that you said that we're not slaves anymore. What I said is we're not. There's a question mark. Because the reason why I say that is because you still have individuals in this country who still do not believe that blacks are equal. that we have the exact equal representation.
Thinking
That
blacks are
we,
equal and having a daggone slave in your backyard is two different things.
But it's the
not to
mentality.
some people.
Yeah, not to
Not to
some
some
people.
people.
Yeah, not to
I,
some.
I tell you what, let them go up there. Let one of them go up there to a black person. Says, "You so nice and clean. Won't you be my maid?"
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. They do. They still do to this day. They do to this day.
You'll have
I
some
know
people.
for a
I
fact.
guarantee if
I
you
know
go
for a
down to
fact.
Mississippi,
EJ can
I
tell
wouldn't be
you right
surprised.
now.
Mhm.
Someone will go. Ooh,
Yeah.
have you met EJ? He's such a nice, clean, handsome man,
Well,
and it's just that clean.
I
It,
welcome the day that they asked me.
But that's
I do
you. But
not
it's
welcome
sad to
the day
say.
that they ask you
Yeah.
at all. I don't think they know that you are sidearm certified. Let's put it that way. I don't think they understand that.
Yeah,
Boy, I
sidearm
pack
certified turned up.
I,
They don't
I,
know
I,
that
Right.
part.
I pack a mean one. So
I
this
understand.
But
ain't
you
what
know
they
what?
want.
But like Lauren said, yeah, I get it. You know, you got to realize also we're in the north. So because we're
We
in the
are
north,
not in. I am not in the
yeah,
north. I
you're in the
am
north.
below the
It doesn't
The
Mason
matter.
Mason
Dixon
Dixon
It
line.
doesn't matter.
line.
I'm still in the South. I'm just not
It
in the
doesn't
dirty,
matter.
dirty South.
I
I
hear
am
you. It
still
ain't the dirty,
in
but
the
we.
South.
You know what? You know what? When people say that, you know, people would always, you know, I know people would say, you know, DC is considered the South or whatever, whatever.
It is.
I I hear you, but the mentality and the way people move down there is not. It's
Oh,
not.
of
It's not.
course not.
So
Of
so
course
when
not.
Yeah,
you
that DMV movement does
yeah,
not move the same
no,
as Atlanta, Birmingham.
no,
Does
they don't.
Baby,
not move
No,
the
they
baby,
don't.
I'm
same.
here to tell,
No, they don't.
and that's why when my mom says, "So when you coming back in February?"
Oh, I know what that date is.
However,
Yeah.
because of where you're at, you don't see that, or nobody's crazy enough to do that. But unfortunately, like Lawrence, to piggyback on what Lawrence was just saying, you go down to Alabama, you go to rural, especially rural areas of Alabama, Mississippi, and even possible parts of
Texas
Texas,
to this day.
especially Texas.
Hmm.
That's you know,
Oh, I got you one even better. Montana, Idaho,
South Dakota.
Wyoming, South and North Dakota. I mean, they're really doing the exact same thing to our indigenous brothers and sisters. So I think I'm sorry. Go ahead, EJ. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You took words right out of my mouth. I was just naming it different places. You know,
Hmm.
I got a friend of mine, and she's white, and she's in Georgia, and she's having a very difficult time. I think I kind of pitched on this last week
Hmm.
about her having a difficult time understanding the history of what blacks had to go through as
And
slaves.
I still call bullshit on that conversation.
Okay, yeah, but you know,
We accept your call.
yeah, right, we accept it. And the first thing that she said, and I saw the one, oh, she said, I may move back to I may move to South Dakota or North Dakota. I said, okay,
For what?
So
because
she's gonna move back to a place that's going to be more homogenous to what she can deal with,
absolutely,
instead of being in a place that is going to challenge her.
Okay.
okay.
Well, listen.
So I,
Wait a
so I,
minute.
I so I politely, you know, I had to, I have it. I want to speak to her, and I am going to figure that out. But she said that people are really spazzing on her, calling her a
A
racist.
Karen?
Well, yeah. And I told her, I said, it's the picture. I want the picture that you're painting. Look at what you're saying. You know, I know you personally. I don't look at you that way because I've known you over the years. However, the statements that are coming out of your mouth, you got to realize we're at a time right now where,
Give me an example of what she's saying out her mouth.
well, she's
Oh,
saying,
And
her,
Erskine, do not sugarcoat it, but
no,
just
no, no,
tell me what she
I got it.
says.
I got it. I understand. She made a statement saying that all lives should matter, not just black lives
Well,
matter.
everybody says that foolishness.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay,
Give me
yeah,
another
yeah.
one.
Right. Okay, so she says the North Dakota. I don't read too much of her stuff because I just think she just does not get it. You know how a person just does not get it? That's
Yeah.
the way I look at it. They just don't get it. You know, but
Yeah.
somebody on the other side, and my girl Nitra, who is turned up, you would rip her head off, which you would have every right to rip her head off. To yes, you would. You rip her head off.
oh
But
dear
I,
God
The
in Christ. Oh,
shade.
oh my
okay,
God.
okay.
The
But
literal,
but
the
but I
literal war
still say
just
no.
on
But I
that
think some people just don't get it. You know what I mean? And she's one of those people.
I 100%, I will play devil's advocate with you because I know for a fact that there are black people right now that will not leave certain areas to go to a mixed race area because they don't even know how they will react to it. And
Right. Right.
black people
They it just wouldn't,
would.
you know, even when it came, I had a friend of mine tell me, well, not a friend of, well, yeah, a friend of mine tell me that when it came time for grad school, if I did my undergrad at HBCU, I'm not going to a white school or Ivy League white school. They're not doing that. No, mm. I got a friend of mine that's in Los Angeles that is pro-black. We're not going to any white-owned restaurants. Pro-black. We're only going to black-owned restaurants when we eat, when we hang out. You know, so you have some people I think that just really don't get.
okay, you black owned, but a lot of the places that you're black owned businesses, they have to go to the white companies to get certain things. Killer Mike did on his show Trigger Point, Trigger something. He did that. He went to a black owned restaurant, but he couldn't even eat there because why they bought like ketchup and it was from Hunt's.
That was on. It was a Netflix show, wasn't
Oh,
it?
Yeah,
okay.
Trigger Point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I did see that because
Yeah.
he tried to patronize places that
Only black
had
dollars.
African source. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was an
Yeah,
eye
like
opener.
he couldn't ride the bicycle because
Yeah,
I mean, like he broke it all the way
yeah,
down.
he did. He did. He went to the barber shop too, and come find out like the oil that they use or something. They had to get.
It wasn't black owned, but there is a company out there just like Amazon where you can get black owned everything.
Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, I'm about to find it because after I said but and started talking, I realized I didn't have it up here.
Well, that'll be good. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is. It's oh gosh, I get emails from them all the
You're not
time.
talking about We Buy Black, are you?
There you go.
Ah, yes, We
Yes.
Buy Black. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We buy black.
Yeah.
Yep. So
yeah.
I mean, they're the black version of Amazon. I mean, they're nowhere as near as big as it's WeBuyBlack.com.
Yeah,
But they are nowhere near as big as Amazon. But it's a starting place. It's a
it is.
starting place. You know,
It is.
I
Right.
started throwing my lashes on there, but guess what? They, the Chinese people, they
Right.
make the
Right.
lashes.
Right. But
You
yeah,
know,
but it kind of, to piggyback on what we were saying, I still feel that some people just don't get it, and they need to be educated. That's just my opinion.
yeah.
Well, even into that regard, again,
But
education.
but again, if you
Not
went
just,
to
not
if
just
you
white.
was born and raised in this country, you're gonna hear your history before you hear our history. Okay? And the reality of it is
Yeah.
this: you know that slavery took place. You learned about the Jim Crow laws in school. You learned about segregation in school. So that's why I say I call bullshit on a lot of the
I,
stuff
I,
that you're saying because not you're saying, but that your friend
Sure,
is like, I don't get it. I don't get it because you were born and raised. Even foreigners that's not from here understands that black people have been oppressed and
but
you
some of them,
know
I will tell you,
you
Nisha,
know
I
they
know
don't.
people internationally, and I'm telling you, a lot of them don't because a lot of the information that they get, especially overseas, is through media, right?
Right.
Media,
exactly just like the only
yeah,
time they show Ethiopia is with the little kids with the Feed the Children network, and they are some of the most beautiful people in this world.
yes,
But
yes.
if people are not aware of that and educated on that, then you got lost people. So when you have stuff like this that happens,
Well, I can see your point.
yeah,
I see your point because
Yeah.
the reason I said I see your point is because when I worked in the Pentagon, the different eateries was owned by people that didn't match the eateries. Like the Panda Express was ran by the Hispanic people.
You
The
said the food
third
pretty much.
yeah they didn't match. Like if I want McDonald's, I would expect an American person there,
Right, right, right.
white people, but it was Hispanics right there. The Panda
Wow.
Express was Hispanic. The Baskin and Robbins was Ethiopians. Um, Baskin Robbins slash what is it? Baskin Robbins slash something.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, was the Ethiopians. So I say that about Baskin Robbins because I was with this
Wow.
white girl co-worker, and she was like, "Oh, she's a pretty Middle Eastern girl," and I was like, "Where you said me the Middle Eastern girl?" She said, "The girl right there." I said, "She's not Middle Eastern." She said, "Yes, she is." I said, "No, she's not." She said, "Yes, she is." I said, "No, she's not." She said, "Yes, she is." I said, "Jennifer, why?" Oh, you're used to seeing the Feed the Children Network with the little pot belly babies with the flies and stuff all over their face where they're eating porridge. You're thinking that's the Ethiopian. Yeah, that's the Ethiopian too, but those are Ethiopians too. They probably got more money than me and you both put together.
Well, again, it's the
But
same way they do it here in this country. They do it here in this country. Think about it. You
yeah,
know, they don't even show people like you or me or EJ, trying to have a great education, trying to build families. They don't portray those.
Right.
okay. All right,
Right.
so let's get off of this topic because I'm excited about our guest that's about to come on. I'm like really 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 pumped because I share a common bond with them. I do. As we three are all high school classmates, I am a veteran. They are a veteran. So, yes, so I'm going to introduce Mr. LaShawn Gilron. He is the owner of All of Me Family Wines, and also Mr. Darion Jackson. He is the owner of Dapper D's Cigars, and I want to bring both of these gentlemen in. Welcome, gentlemen. Can you
Both
hear
sides,
me?
welcome.
Can you hear me? How are y'all doing this evening?
I am
Yes.
good.
Thank
I
you.
am
Thank you.
good.
I am so glad that you were able to come out to the show on such notice. I like doing things for the fathers, although it did slip my mind this year because of course I didn't have a husband to say, "Oh yeah, Father's Day is coming up, kids. What are we doing?" So because I don't have a husband anymore, it completely slipped my mind. But Mother's Day slipped my mind too. So, and my daughter's birthday is right after Mother's Day, so I don't feel that bad about forgetting about Father's Day. But like I told you all today, and I told my co-hosts, I wanted to do a light and fluffy concept today because we've been so heavy throughout the weeks talking about different
Mm.
things. Excuse me. And I wanted to do something that everybody could enjoy thinking about. And because it is Father's Day, what a perfect way for me to go on Instagram to LaShawn's page and actually see that he was doing a video, and I clicked on the video and realized that you two gentlemen are actually doing a live stream on tomorrow, um, regarding the cigars, and the wine for Father's Day. Now I don't know if it's
Very nice.
particular for Father's Day, but I just think that that was an excellent thing for Father's Day, and I will be tuning in on tomorrow with my cigar in hand and my
Good.
wine, just so I can sit there and give back to my black brothers. So,
That's right.
I,
so
I wish I could be there. Doggone it.
I know, but look.
Cigar
Hold on,
sounds
hold
real
on.
good.
Let me tell you how good Darian is. I pulled out my humidor, right? I said mine is small, and I only have one left. And he said, "Is that a Java? What did you say?"
That's a Java Mint.
I said, no, it's
I
a.
can even tell you the
I
size.
said, oh, yes, it is. Listen here. The man knows his cigars. If I didn't have to go like this, I didn't even do this. I was way back here going, yeah, I got my cigar and I'm going to be on the. So, my people, let's go ahead.
Right.
Let's go ahead and order these cigars from him. Let me throw up my ticker real quick. There we go.
Let me.
Absolutely,
I gotta.
absolutely.
Let me take it down real quick. I want to do something else to it. Hold on.
I
Okay,
kind of got
go
to plug
ahead.
my laptop up real quick. Give me 1 second.
Okay, well, we're gonna start off with Jack then. Go ahead. Tell us about you.
So what's going on, everybody? My name is Darian Jackson. I go by Jack. If you don't know, I am a cigar YouTuber and also the owner and founder of Dapper D Cigars. What we did, the concept of Dapper D Cigars was simple, as we wanted to become a cornerstone within the Jacksonville market, and how do we do that? By just simply going to do it. So I'm originally from a small town called Kankakee, Illinois, which is 45 minutes south of Chicago. I am a Navy veteran, and obviously, y'all can tell I have melanin in my skin. So this is a Black-owned and veteran-owned uh, company. So with that being said, our biggest thing is how can we educate everybody on cigars and really get them to understand that this is a luxury and it's also a great hobby to get into, which is why I went into educating, making cigar educational videos on YouTube and different things of that nature. So if you guys are really looking for an affordable place to shop and buy your cigars, and you're also trying to stay Black-owned businesses, hit that link in the ticker below. You see my website is dapperdcigars.com. You can also follow me at Facebook at Dapper D Cigars on Facebook and on Instagram as well.
Okay. All right, LaShawn, let's tell them about your wine. I wish I had some right now, but I'm
Me
waiting for
too. A
I'm
big
waiting
old
for it.
glass of it.
I'm waiting for my other shipment to come in from you. So okay, LaShawn, tell the people about you and your business. Can he hear us?
I
Oh,
think
don't worry. I got a bottle of
Okay.
the rose right here.
he froze up a little bit.
I think he did freeze.
Yeah, he froze up, unfortunately. Because I sure want to hear what kind of wine he's talking about.
So right now, hear me?
We can hear you, but you're like
Can you hear
frozen.
me?
We can hear you, but you're frozen.
Guys, the internet again.
My cousin just hit me up with a text. I'm some girl, that's my boy. I know, Sean.
Yeah, he froze.
He froze. Okay, well, until he can get back, let's Jack, okay, so my thing is, what made you go into wanting to start a cigar business? Because like I told you before, a lot of us, we think about t-shirts, we think about being a rapper
Okay,
at this age. So so what made you think about cigars?
So it was
me and
really
Max.
simple. So when I got out the Navy back in October, and my goal was I had degrees. I was going to be the HR professional, and I really started realizing
Man,
that even in the
she's
Navy,
great, man. She was great.
What's going
I
on?
really didn't understand. I wouldn't say I didn't understand, but I really didn't like the culture of the Navy and feeling like I always had to do something that I wasn't passionate about. So,
Right.
when I got out, I started my journey and, trying to explore different fields. And I realized, me and my wife been married 4 years, and she's awesome, but she really helps calibrate me. And when I sit here and say that we were having a conversation, I'm like, look, I really wanted to get into law enforcement, and I tell you what, I kid you not, I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, 10 years in the Navy. Nobody will hire me.
Oh,
Right?
I'm with you. I totally
I'm with
understand
it
it.
too. I'm with you.
And I got
And
IT for over 20 years.
and you look at it, you be like, what did I lack? Like I a lot of the people that's in whatever, we're not gonna get into that. But anyway, the moral story is I said, look, we're gonna we're gonna go and do our passion. I said, I'm going to do something that I am 100% passionate about. This is not a job for me. This is my lifestyle. I smoke cigars anyway, so why not bring
There you
everybody
go.
together and really create
Yes.
that environment to where we can all come together and all get a greater understanding of everything around us. So
Right,
that's
right, right. Okay, and I love it. And my thing is, if this is what you do already, why not make a business out of it? Not a hobby, but a business.
absolutely.
And it's always a blessing when you can wake up every morning and not feel like, all the hard work and the behind the scenes stuff that you have to do with it, it's not going to stress you out because it's going to be something that you're going to be passionate about and not what someone else wants you to be passionate about it for.
Right,
But
right.
baby, let me tell you one thing. He got a spouse that got his back. That's what it is. Because if you don't have that spouse to say, baby, this is what you want to do. Okay, well, what's the plan? Do you know what we need to do? Okay, do you need me to help you get
What
to what
we
we
need to
trying to
do.
do?
What
Okay,
we
good.
need to
Okay,
do.
you do this part, I do that part. I love it. I love
Yeah,
that your
that's
spouse
good.
is your spouse is in the mix with you in this
Sure.
business. LaShawn, are you okay now?
Am I okay? Can everybody
You
hear me?
sound a whole lot better.
And I was
A lot better.
I was so upset. I'm like, it was my time. And then it froze. I was like, what?
And then you
This is
came back
crazy.
sounding like a robot. So my question to you is, I want you to tell us about your business. And since you cut off and went away, once you tell us about your business, I want you to tell me or tell us, tell everybody what made you pick wine instead of a t-shirt company or becoming a rapper or any other
Entrepreneur.
Okay.
Jesus.
rappers
So
aren't
honestly,
entrepreneurs until they make it.
so honestly, my vision for my business is my business. Like I look at my brand and it says my mission statement is it's all on me and it's all in me to make my dreams reality. So most people look at that and they think like it's an individual type thing where I'm like, I gotta do everything by myself and
Hmm.
it's all on my
Mm,
shoulders. But I really
Yeah.
believe that God gives every individual person their own
Yes.
purpose. And if
mm.
you're operating in your purpose, kind of how you're doing now, and Jack's
Yeah.
operating in his purpose, if we all find a way to come together, we can build each other and build the kingdom as well.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
the way I kind of got into the wine was I actually started with the shirts.
Hmm.
um, and a friend of mine who I was talking to in Chicago, he was basically kind of like challenging me, kind of like me and Jack do. We're like, what's next for you? We hold each other accountable. And he's like, what are you doing? Like, and I was really stuck and frustrated, especially in the beginning of the business, because it was like, everybody's doing t-shirts. How is mine going to be different? What can I
Yep.
offer to the market? What can I bring to people that's
Yep.
different?
Yep.
And we were just sitting there like, hey, bro, what can you put your logo on that people will like? And he was like, well, what do you like? And I had recently stopped drinking hard liquor,
Hmm.
and Jack had got me introduced to like the cigars. And when you think about cigars, the wine is kind of like right there in that realm. It's kind of like
Yes.
the environment for
Hmm.
cigars.
Yeah.
Is you don't see most people
And
drinking
it's
cigars with
sexy.
like I mean
That's a fact.
It's
it is.
sexy. I'm
And
sorry, it's
If you
sexy.
drink and if
and
you drink enough, it'll make everybody sexy.
No, but not to
I
cut
wouldn't even
LaShawn
go with
off,
the
Right.
it's sexy. It's
nah.
sexy.
I wouldn't really want to go with
It's
It
nothing
gives you a
better
whole
than
other
this
pairing
is
a
what
swag.
great
it
It gives you,
is.
it gives
cigar
you a whole
with
other
some wine.
swag.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about this
That's
vibe
it.
with cigars and alcohol. You know, be it your heart, your brandy, or your bourbon, or whatever
Yep.
your drink of your choice, other than a daiquiri or something crazy like that.
Hmm.
It is nothing. I don't like cigarettes. I don't like cigarettes. But I tell you one thing. It is nothing more sexier than seeing a dude with a cigar and a drink of his choice, and he can mind fuck me. There's nothing more. Ain't nothing more sexier than that. Okay? Cause I'm like, say what? Motisa?
Oh man.
You know
Yes.
what's crazy is
It's
it's
nothing more
fun.
sexier than that.
It's funny, like, cause you said something about daiquiris, and like I explain to people all the time was like, what goes great with my cigar, and I'm like,
Right.
dude, what do you like? And that's the biggest thing. It's like, what do you like? Because depending on what you like is what it is. But you'd be surprised. There's actually some great cigars out there that go great with daiquiris.
Well, I'ma
Well,
trust your word for it, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm
that
not. No, I'm either gonna have some peach crown or I'm gonna have some wine. Other than that, I'm
Okay.
not drinking no daiquiri because I'm trying to be sexy so I can find somebody
Well,
that's
hey,
sexier.
if
And
you think about it, that'll be something great, because a lot of women may
see
want
it
to
for
be in
me.
those
I actually
rooms with
went
those
to
sexy
get
people while they're up there smoking those cigars. So if you can have that pattern or that mix together, it can actually bring more people in.
say what?
I understood it. I mean,
I
it was confusing,
appreciate
but
that,
I
Jack. I
understood it.
appreciate it. You don't understand.
Wait a minute. Jack said it was confusing, but I get it.
It was confusing. Go to hell. You know exactly what I was saying.
So, Earl,
So
right here with you,
tell
brother.
you.
Jack,
Well, we wasn't ready.
you wasn't ready.
We was not ready. We was not
Good.
ready. We definitely was not ready.
No, no,
Uh,
I piggyback on Jack too. You know, there's an awesome lounge in DC called the Civil Lounge. I think that's what it's called. I have
is
some
that your
friends.
favorite lounge? Is that
Yes,
your
that's my
favorite
favorite.
lounge?
I love it, and it's let me tell you about that lounge. Let me tell you about it now.
Yeah, tell about the lounge in my city. Go ahead.
In your city, because obviously if you smoke
That was a
cigars and you ain't
challenge.
been there, we got a problem. We got a problem because that's where we got to go when I come there. But it's very upscale, very plush. They have the different types of wines that go with the cigars.
Yeah,
So
they
I
pair
That's
'em.
exactly what we do.
right. So
Yeah.
it's you don't know. You really don't know. I have a friend of mine here in New York who I'll go have a cigar with, and he always suggests like a cognac. Like a cognac. He that's what he always suggests. You ought to try this kind of cognac or that kind of cognac. So I think it just depends. It just depends. But what do you guys recommend, Jack and LaShawn? What do you guys recommend? Because I think some people, like you said, they have their daiquiris, they have their martinis. Like, what do you guys recommend?
Me personally, I tell people depending on what cigar you want to smoke that day is depending on what you want to pair it with, and it all depends on what it is that you ate that day. It all depends on how you feeling that day. It all depends on how your palate is going to receive that smoke and that drink combination. Now, understanding this, I'm gonna break it down to the simplest way I possibly can. If you have a heavy lunch, dinner, whatever, you're gonna go with something more bold, right? But that was a more complex example. This is the simple part. If it's light, go light. If it's dark, go dark. If it's in between, try everything. And I say that because one thing that people don't understand is that it's easy for a drink to overpower a cigar.
Yeah.
For instance, I'm smoking on a Connecticut cigar. I don't want to have a dark or a cognac or a bourbon to match with that because it's going to be overpowering. Something like LaShawn's All Me Family wine will go perfect with a Connecticut cigar.
Oh, let me write that down. Hold on. Connecticut cigar.
A Connecticut cigar. One of my personal recommendations is the Drew Estate Undercrown, or your new A. Fernandez New World Connecticut. But those will go great with that. And then his red wine, a Habano wrapper, something of medium body that's not really overpowering, will go great with that. But the thing about it is, people don't understand. Your cigar can go with anything that you want it to go with. You can make water. You can do a beer. You can do a wine. You can do a liquor. You can do a coffee. You can do a tea. It all depends on you and how your palate receives that.
Okay.
That's good.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Good
Beautiful.
stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So, okay. So you said something on your Instagram, something about Cuban cigars. Can you elaborate on that?
I believe what you're referring to is how to spot a fake Cuban.
Yes, that's what it was.
So the biggest thing that a lot of people counterfeit is Cahoon. I mean, they're the easiest. Well, not really easy, but they're the most seen counterfeit. Then you have your Hoyo de Monterey's, you have your Romeo Juliet's, but the biggest one that you see is your is your Cohibas. Now, throughout my video, there is 7 different things that you can tell how to spot a fake Cuban. And what's happening today, there is a lot of fake Cubans going around, and people just buying them, $58 a stick, and you get it, and then you ask me whether they're real, and I'm gonna tell you no, it's fake. You wasted your money because you didn't watch my video. So. But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The biggest thing is this: there's one simple way that's going to always give it away. If you can move that banner, it's fake.
Oh,
Period.
wow.
Oh, wow.
You can
You
move
learned
That
something.
you
I did not know that. That's
You
something.
just dropped that. You dropped that hard because I had no idea.
and that's just one. That's just one way. But I mean, that's
Oh
the
wow.
easiest way to do it.
Wow, did not know that. Did not know that.
Collegial bands do not move.
Now let me
They're
ask you this:
so tight on there.
on the second part of that, Jack, is it when so as you're going to light it and taste that difference between? Will you taste that difference between the fake and the real one? I'm sure, but what would be some of those notes or things that people should be on the lookout for? A difference in the taste between the two.
I put it like this. She said it. She said it perfect earlier. There's a huge difference between cigars and cigarettes.
Mm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Cigars are 100% organic tobacco grown, fermented, aged. Cigars is chemically modified tobacco. More of the story on your fake ones, you're going to have a lot more of your short fillers, right?
Ah.
Okay.
So a whole cigar, and I also got a video on that. Uh, the tobacco of an actual cigar is bunched together. These leaves that's bunched together, and then they're binded through a binder and a wrapper. Now,
Uh-huh.
when you have some type of machine roll, that's when you have that chopped up tobacco, and you'll see a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the thing about it is, once you realize it's fake, you might as well cut it open and just see what kind of cigar it's going to be.
You
So
mentioned that, and now I can see it in my head because I have seen those differences. It looks very, very shredded. It's the best
like
way
a
I can
black and
put it.
mild.
Yeah.
Good
Like a
example.
black and
Yeah.
mild.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know is that same tobacco is the same tobacco that they use in cigars. It's just chopped up.
Say that again. That same
Oh.
tobacco. What now?
The same tobacco they use in the black and mild is actual tobacco from a plant. But as they go to roll that cigar, they cutting off different pieces of the wrapper because they can't use it, or taking off the pieces of the binder and they throw it into a pile. That is the same pile, that garbage pile for the cigars that they use for cigarettes and black and miles and other stuff.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Mm. See, education. Aren't y'all
Educate.
glad I brought them on the show
Why
today?
not? Why not?
I wouldn't have never known that. I wouldn't have never known that, and probably wouldn't even known to even ask that question.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, yeah. So, LaShawn, I'm glad you're back with us. Can you? Did he freeze on us again? Oh, there he go. He's smiling. Okay. Okay. So, LaShawn, did you ever get a chance to tell us why? Oh, you started on t-shirts and you was trying to figure out something else, so you went to the wine. So, how was it when you told your family that you wanted to? Because I don't know if you're married or not. That you wanted to start marketing wine.
I am. Actually, I told no one except that one friend. I talked about it, and that was basically because at that, uh, if you're gonna do something, do tell people about it, because you leave most of the time when you're out doing something, you leave it them to tell you why you should
Right. Why you
do it,
shouldn't. Yeah.
and you never do it because 20 people told me about all of this
Mm.
from being successful at it. So literally talked about, I ordered to pray to, and I ordered the wine, and I got the wine. He's like, just talked about it. I'm like, yeah,
Okay. We could barely understand you, but it
already
sounded like
put
you
out and
said
everything like
barely understand you, but because
the for
you
and
keep
kind of like the different mixtures that they had.
mhm.
And I went with the Moscato. Um,
he was dropping some wisdom here. He said Moscato, and that's my thing right there.
Listen, I perked up. I'm like, wait a minute. I heard the Moscato.
Right there. Hey, come back. Come back.
Yeah, it sounded like he talked to a distributor and they had multiple flavors, and he chose to go with the Moscato. Probably because
Moscato.
Moscato is a popular taste, I assume. Um, but
Oh,
Oh
I
man.
wish I could hear it because he keeps dropping off. But until he comes back, let me just put you all stuff up here. And
Absolutely.
Darian, I want you to go ahead and tell us about this event right here.
So what we're doing is we are introducing our same live video to pretty much, just give a raw, uncut censor of what conversations that people should have and should be having. So in the Navy, we have something called a smoke deck. The smoke deck was the place where people took their break to go just get a fresh air, or simply just want to, just bull crap around on the smoke deck. So people would come out there and they'd talk. I mean, you got people from all walks of life talking about conversations that you would never engage in if you had never been on that smoke deck.
Right.
And that was the thing about it is you see so many things about cigar talking. Let's talk about cigars. But let's talk about real stuff while smoking cigars. I think that'll be a great message to get off. And that's something that me and LaShawn talked about. And what's crazy is we were actually on the phone one day last week, and we were talking. I said, look, people shouldn't only hear our conversations. Like, we should have these conversations with more, because we're talking about the mindset that you have to have in order to be a business owner, the mindset that you have to overcome in order to really fulfill your purpose in life, the mindset that you have to overcome to understand that you have a passion and to follow your passion, not what everybody is saying. And that's exactly what G was getting to, or LaShawn was getting to, was he told that one person simply due to the fact it's so many times in life where people are trying to talk us out of doing what we actually want to do. Like, bro, you really gonna do that? You really gonna go start this cigar lounge? You gonna really do this? And I'm like, hey, yeah, you really gonna go out here and do it? And people are like, okay, all right.
And those people, and you'll find out that those people who are those little bugs playing in your ear haven't been able to develop anything, or even thought of a conception, or conceptualize a thought of anything that you're trying to do.
Or what they would do is try to take your idea and do it themselves, and it fails.
Now, damn, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Oh no, I've had that happen to me a couple. I've had that happen to me a couple of times, and also as of recent, I told Erskine about it. What I found out, and I was blown away, and I was like, "Oh, that's what we doing? Okay, no problem, touche. Yeah. I'm not going to even come to you and say, you know what, that was my idea, but whatever. But I'm all for entrepreneurship. Actually, when I got my degree in business administration, because again, I got 20 years of IT, but IT pays the bills. My passion is entrepreneurship. So I got a degree in business administration, but the school that I went to, Strayer University, actually started entrepreneurship concentration. So my concentration is actually in entrepreneurship. I love entrepreneurship. The first thing I ask people is this a hobby or is this a business? I asked my 13-year-old when she was talking about this lip gloss business. She talked about this lip gloss business for like a year before I finally decided to go ahead. And that was with her being persistent, her having me to sit down and actually look at the different girls that was doing lip gloss, for me realizing there's a 22-year-old out in California somewhere that has a lip gloss business, and she lives at home by herself, 22 years old, selling, creating lip gloss. And I was blown away. And I told my daughter, I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. You want to work it as a business, or you just want to do it as a hobby? She said, no, I want to do it as a business. Okay. I said, because when I say it's time to go to work, I don't want to hear, oh, I'm on FaceTime with my friend. Nope, that's not what we're doing. We're not doing that.
That's absolutely correct. What a lot of people don't understand is when you have passion behind it, it's no longer work.
Oh no, it's not.
Right,
It's
right,
fun.
right. It's
It's
fun.
fun.
It's not something that you have to force. You have to force me to go to a job because at the end of the day, if I don't like that job, then I don't want to go. But
Right, right.
when you're building something like for everybody that's watching, everybody go shop Dapper D Cigars .com for all your cigar needs. But on that website, man, I was looking at going to hire a website designer. They wanted like $4,500. It ain't the fact that I didn't have the money. It was the fact that I wasn't going to spend that money. And I
And you shouldn't have to as a
Should have
small
to.
entrepreneur as and
absolutely
that is why I'm creating this business to help small business owners because there are a lot of people that actually need the necessities to get their business up and running, but they cannot afford it because they have these people that say they are graphic designers
yeah.
and they're pretty much taking advantage of small business owners. And that's one thing I cannot stand is somebody taking advantage of small business owners. If anything, you use the business owners to your advantage and which will help you create more revenue for yourself. Hey, I did Dapper D's cigar. I did their website. Oh, I did all of me family's website. Oh, I did Lash Critics website. Oh, I did Dynasty Maryland's website. I did those two websites for real. And I'm also working with another girl on her business. I'm actually and she's in Texas. So I'm all for entrepreneurship. I'm all for helping people. But I totally agree with you, Jack, when you say I'm not paying them $500-$600 for them to give me a website that I really don't like.
Yeah.
or that you may not even need at this point. One of the
No,
things
no,
that
no, no, no. You need a website. Because the first thing
I'm
I asked
going to finish.
LaShawn was,
I'm going
Wait
to
one
finish
second.
what I'm saying. What I was getting
there you
ready to
go. That's
say.
the first thing I asked him. Where's your website at?
What I was getting ready to say is that when you ask someone, if you ask someone to say build a website, they're going to think of the largest, hugest things with these AIs in the background and all this stuff.
No, they're
But
not. Because they
if
don't know
you're
what they look. They don't know what they want.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is that if you're able to build at least a generalized website so that you can have people to go to your website, right? And then as time goes along, as you're building your portfolio, as you're expanding, as you have that money to invest into a website, then you're able to put more into it. But to start out saying that, in order to have a website that's going to be $4,500, and I'm an entrepreneur and I'm literally trying to scrape nickels together to get this started, it all comes into that starting capital revenue. And you're going to have to put in a website, but it may not need to be so graphic heavy or so many different things in the background just to get your word out to start that you're going to get there.
You
But a
know,
lot
That
of
was what I was trying
websites
to make.
also is plug and play too. So if you know how
I
to
mean,
plug and play,
a lot of people
Like,
websites
what is it,
are
Wix
right?
or
Because
something like that?
because they have gone away from coding websites now. Nobody wants
you
to
can do a
code
short
anymore.
code and like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but case in point, the website I did for my daughter's cheer team, the gym, because she does all star cheer. The web that website was originally for football. I created it to be for cheerleading. I put stats up there and everything, so no one would ever know that.
Mm.
Oh, oh, no, come back. No, that's LaShawn. He's texting me.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, especially we discuss entrepreneurship is you have to develop three characteristics, and I'm one of those people that I have been successful up to this part of
Hmm.
creating a
Sure.
business, and even as I learned and I bump my head on the road, I'm gonna always educate because I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people don't do. They be like, well, if I teach you this, and I can't, you're going to take my whole system. And the concept
Right.
is if my business is constructed to the point that you can't manipulate it, I don't care about sharing you the basic facts to get there.
Right.
And
Right.
those three
Yes,
things I was telling you about is passion,
Hmm.
relentless, dedication. You
Yes.
have those, I'm telling you, you can do whatever it is that you want. And I'm a prime example of that.
Good.
Yes, and I appreciate that too. I'm just pumped that you got a website and you got a storefront. Okay, um, but everything that you said, you have to give back, and a lot of times we as
Mm.
people don't want to give back to people that don't have a clue, and then the people that don't have a clue, they pay all of this money. They pay all of this money to these people that like to say that we're going to help you build your brand, and they're not helping them. You getting the
Absolutely.
same information from this person. Oh, okay, I got that information. Okay, no, well, I got this information from you. Oh, okay, it's like it's the same information, and you want me to pay thousands of dollars for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, no, I just don't think that that's cool.
That sounds like
Lashawn,
is that the Trump model?
we don't talk about that person. Moving on to LaShawn, let's talk about your wine. Let's talk about your wine.
Yeah, but LaShawn, before you got disconnected, my friend, you got into a good part about the Moscato.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
I want you to piggyback on that because I was here and I almost did. I'm a Moscato
Can I
Let me,
can I
guy.
say
Like,
something
but let
on
me
that real
just tell
quick?
y'all. Let me just tell y'all. His wine is delicious, 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 delicious. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, go ahead. Shouts out to my cousin Chandra Rose that put me onto it because she took a
I
picture
hope
of
this
it.
connection thing lets me actually talk.
You better
Yes,
get it
you go ahead and
together.
explain that quick, bro.
do I need to come over there and be your IT tech?
Don't even get in the pump no more. Just start talking.
Yeah, just
Go ahead.
Please, because the one I got is about to be fire. But basically the Moscato was something that I knew a lot of people would like to drink. It's
Hmm.
smooth and it had a rich taste. So I actually ordered it to taste it. And once I actually ordered it, it was like I was sold on it, and I just went from there.
Okay.
Um, Marketing was easy. Just put your brand. You pick your wine. You get your brand together with the actual team that actually makes the wines and bottle the wines, and they kind of like a wholesaling company as well. So they do
Hmm.
champagne and stuff like that. Um, and you market it yourself and sell it.
Okay. Okay. So what is your next drink gonna be? Because you just mentioned champagne. So are you gonna come out with the champagne, or are you gonna do another wine?
So
Uh oh.
oh no.
I did the rosé, I
Okay.
did the Moscato, and now I'm thinking about doing the champagne, but that was kind of a sneak peek situation right there. I didn't really want to release that, but y'all got it first, so it's cool. It's cool. You guys,
Yay! Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'll buy some. I will. But okay. So you got the rosé, you
okay?
got the
There we
champagne
go.
coming, you have the Moscato coming in. Hey, Roxy. So let's see here. What else do we want to know? Are
So
you
for
going? Are you?
actually also for like my brand, my brand itself, it's going more towards like building my family. So like
Mhm.
my daughter,
The,
we're working on a book for her. Me and my wife actually got together and we did her first book, so that's pretty soon. Um,
Nice.
we're working on building my wife's brand as well. She has a few things that she's working on, like
okay.
my
Okay.
family around me gathered. So
Okay.
where like family brand comes in, it's like you have one that you want to do in your life, and each individual person has that. So if we can come together, we can build it all together, and it'll work. So
Yes.
it's going to be a lot, not just the wine. I'm a realtor as well, so we're getting into real estate investing. It's a lot. It's a
I'm
lot
loving
coming,
it.
definitely.
Sound like
I
y'all got
am
some things
loving it.
popping.
I
Y'all got
am
some things
loving
popping.
it.
Absolutely.
I am loving it. I
Now,
am
now
all
where does
loving
LaShawn
it.
live? Because I got to come hang with him. Where
He
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 live?
he in Vegas.
Oh, you on the west side. You know what? I have a friend of mine that literally just left Vegas to go back to Atlanta, and I really wish he could have connected with him.
I'm in Las Vegas. Oh
Gosh,
yeah.
my friend just left. She felt like she couldn't connect in Vegas, and she ended up moving back to Atlanta. I wish I would have connected with him sooner, or she could have connected with him sooner. Wow. because unfortunately, this friend was saying that.
Was it because of the heat?
No. She just felt like, as I mean, she moved back south for various reasons, but one of the reasons why she said she left Vegas because she said she felt like she couldn't connect with the African American culture out there. She felt like it wasn't enough of that out there. She did make that statement.
And there's a lot of that out in Las Vegas.
Yeah. So
there's a huge African American population in Vegas.
Majority.
It is.
Yeah.
City.
It is.
Don't look at the Strip. Yeah, I got family members that live out there, and it's ridiculous. And
I got some partners out there, and they're doing, they're doing that thing out there,
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I know where to go when I do come to Vegas. So LaShawn, I'm hitting you up.
Absolutely.
You're pulling up, LaShawn. Hey, that flight from JFK, bro, from New York.
Like 5-10 minutes from the Strip.
Yeah. That's awesome. I guess Nietzsche left, right?
I'm right there next. I'm in between like the airstrip, so we're good to go.
Sounds like a plan. Definitely. Well,
I know the area well.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to supporting you brothers, man. I think that's phenomenal. Absolutely. What you guys are both doing, and it's good to hear because to keep it about 50 with you both. I only have one friend in New York who I'm able to smoke a cigar with. I don't have no one who I can say, hey, let's go out and have a cigar. I only have one friend, and we probably smoke a cigar like maybe twice a year. Maybe 3 times. But other than that, I don't have anyone to do that to. Ed, my buddy Ed, shout out to my man Ed down in Atlanta. I'll link up with him and we'll go have a cigar because there's a nice cigar lounge in Atlanta that you hit up. And of course, down in
Called Cigar Bar?
Yeah, in College Park.
Right of course you would know about it. Of course you would know.
You know about it. Okay. Yeah. So
y'all know Cam Newton has a cigar lounge out there too?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I ain't gonna lie to you because I don't remember the name, but Cigar Bar is a really nice cigar lounge. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then they got it's in Atlanta. Yeah, right there in College Park. Right off of
and if y'all actually look at Shop Black, it has all your black owned cigar lounges on there as well. So Atlanta is a mecca for them.
Yeah, Atlanta, Atlanta's heavy duty with it. So definitely, I'm all for it.
Well,
now Nitra have it.
LaShawn passed his connection to her.
Right.
Juju.
I was just ready to say that. Whatever it was, it went that way.
Don't be passing me that bad juju.
Wow.
She done froze up. She freezing up.
Wow.
Don't pass me your bad juju.
I'll take that.
See, he's up again.
It might be my connection going off the whole thing.
Oh, he better fix it before tomorrow. I tell him that much.
Oh.
Because like we all having a conversation. I think him tomorrow.
I just have to fly to Jackson. I think I'm gonna just fly to Jackson to figure it out that way.
Hey,
we're gonna do it together.
That's all right.
One thing I will say, I can appreciate both of you guys because I think we need. I think a lot of us need to see, one thing that you said, Jack, is like, with the melanin that we have, we need to make sure that we not only support, our culture, but also support it with our dollars, right? Support it with our words, support it with our knowledge, right? And I think that's really, really important for what, you're trying to do, especially in this day and age, right? So I salute both you guys for staying in there. Don't get discouraged. I'm sure you're going to have some down times. If you haven't had it already, you're probably going to have some more, but stay encouraged and you got my support and love 100%.
Absolutely. Same here. And as for a guy that loves Moscato, yes. And a guy that has like cigars, yes. You both definitely.
And that's why I brought them on. I was like, Erskine. Hey, they do wine and cigars. Now,
Jack, where do you live, Jack?
So I'm located in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, so you're in Florida. Okay, gotcha. I know where to go when I go to Jacksonville, Florida. Then I know where to pull up.
And our brick and mortar is located right I mean, I could probably throw a rock and hit the airport. That's how close we are. You know,
That sounds like a plan. Duval,
So
okay.
Okay.
EJ, Nitra, we're gonna have to send some reconnaissance down there with Nicole Moffitt down there, so we can hook her up and tell her, hey, go peep out
Yeah.
Jack.
I
Yeah,
don't know who that is.
Jamie Christopher too. Jamie Christopher that went to Carver High School. She's down there.
Yep.
I don't.
Tiffany Wade is down there. Tiffany
I,
Wade is down there as
I
well.
know who
Yeah.
that is. I don't know who the other ones are.
I figured you was gonna say that, Nitra. That's why I
I
didn't say
saw that
you.
coming. Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys. I think if you guys ever,
Hey.
I think you guys are doing great. I think LaShawn
Absolutely.
touched on something very great when he said, when you're getting ready to start something, don't tell everybody.
No,
Mm.
no,
Don't tell
no, no,
everybody.
no,
I
no,
think that is a
no.
principle. I think that a lot of times as people we have to hold on to that concept because whenever you start something new or you're planning to start a new venture, sometimes people don't have the courage to do it, and when they don't have the courage to do it, they'll be quick to say no.
No,
When you tell,
sometimes people are just in negative ass
I think
spaces.
that's true, but
And I
they'll be
don't
quick.
want that, and I don't want that energy coming my way. And
Right. You know what? If I had a dollar for what everybody said about New York, I wouldn't be here. You know what I
oh,
mean?
I wouldn't be in New Jersey.
You say the same thing with you in Jersey, or as
And personally, my view on that is if
Oh,
you're going to do something, you have to challenge yourself.
you have
And
to.
by not telling people, you give yourself no reason, no way out. It's like it's between you and you to make this happen. Nobody else is dependent upon it. Their thought process doesn't matter, nothing. It's like
Right.
you really going to do it.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah,
That is
So when
true.
you're by
yeah.
yourself and you challenge yourself that way, now you have no excuses.
Right. And again,
Oh, that's not going.
I commend both of your spouses for being your biggest cheerleaders
Yeah.
and going on this journey and this ride with you. I just think
Mm.
that's amazing because I didn't have that when I was married. So you know, I totally I like I love units. I love when
Yeah.
couples move as a couple. Don't be laughing at me. The shade is real. I like when units. No, seriously, I like when units, husband and wife teams are actually teams and
Yeah.
they move as a unit. You see
Yeah.
my vision, and even if you don't see your vision, because I love you and because I know that you're not gonna do anything to harm our family life, our home life, I'm gonna ride with you.
Right.
So I do. I'm just so happy that you all
Well,
have the
Definitely.
support
you know,
within the household
Sure.
to make your wildest dreams come true.
yeah, I want to piggyback. I want to piggyback on that statement. You know, it's so true, and it makes a difference. But that's why, and this probably needs to be a topic for another show. When you're dating, those are the things that you put out.
Oh, well,
You know,
excuse.
and I think the mistake that I think some people make is that when they're dating, they don't talk about those things. You know, they don't talk about those goals and those aspirations and those long-term goals and hobbies, things that they want to do. They don't have that. You
Mm-mm.
know, when you reach a certain point, especially in life when you're very career driven,
Yeah,
you want someone to be by your side. You
yeah,
want someone to give you that support. You know, it really makes a difference. And for a lot of people, that doesn't happen because they don't discuss that in the origin of the relationship. They don't discuss that in the beginning, and that is something that you really have to look at when you're going forward with this. I just want to piggyback on that. I just want to.
and also that you all are two still relatively young black men doing something totally
no,
different. You
I'm
didn't
young.
wait. You
No, he
didn't
said, no,
wait.
I'm young.
You didn't wait.
Don't say some kind of way.
You didn't wait till you got to almost retirement in a company that you did not like to start this part time, and then once you retire it becomes a full time gig. You're starting it right now. You got out of the Navy and you started it right now, because this is, your wildest dreams that you
Yeah.
wanted to do. So, again, I'm glad that you all didn't start the normal T-shirt or became a rapper at the age of 35 and above, and you're not a T-shirt person. um, Although I know LaShawn started as a t-shirt, but
Hey,
look what it
ain't nothing wrong
morphed
with
into.
t-shirt. Hey, the t-shirt
No,
can get a
no,
jump
no,
out.
no, no. But he morphed into something that's bigger than
Sure,
t-shirts. Is what I'm saying.
sure.
There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with
As a
starting a
more
business
broad,
to see. It's nothing wrong with starting a t-shirt business to see if you have that entrepreneur mindset.
mindset.
But
Yeah.
it's different when you take that same branding and put it on wine or
Yeah,
cigars or car or sneakers like Master P. You know, he has his own
yep,
sneaker lines or rap snacks that like Master P has. It's something. It's you're building. You didn't just stop at t-shirts. And I say t-shirts because let's just be honest. I thought about a
See,
daggone t-shirt company too, only because when I have something I want to say, I want to put it on a t-shirt and not wait for somebody to get back with me 2 and 3 weeks later. I use that as an example. Like
sure.
I use Keisha and them as
see,
an example. Um, so it's
Mhm.
not a dig, it's not a knock. But what I'm
Sure,
saying is,
definitely. And
you took that, and you built upon that. Like I
sure.
don't know how long you had that t-shirt company. I don't see you doing t-shirts. I see you as the wine
The
man.
wine guy.
You
no,
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I see you. I see you as the wine man. Maybe because that's how I met you. But honestly, I thought the t-shirts
you
came
know,
after the
and
wine.
that about
You know, I thought the
I wanted to
t-shirts
actually
came
give
after
to
the
the
wine.
people is when you
Uh oh.
can you hear me?
Yes. Mic
Oh,
check.
okay.
Mic check.
So
One two
basically, I
one
wanted
two.
to give that to the people. Like when you come out with something and you're building towards your big vision, whatever it is. Say you want to write a book or whatever. Start off doing something that you don't want to do to build revenue to get to where you want to go.
Exactly.
The t-shirts was a way for me to make money to do branding to get myself out there,
Right.
and it
Mm-hmm.
built into the wine, and now it's building into the book, and it's
Yes.
gonna be being able to have the apartment buildings and the companies and storefronts and all
Right.
of that. Like I had to challenge myself to do something instead of me going back to the block and saying, you know what, it'll just be easier for me to go get this money this way so I can
Right.
fund my big dream.
Yep.
What are you willing to do? What are you willing to go through to make your dream reality? I have to sweep trash or sell t-shirts, sell your CDs to get to where you want to go.
Exactly.
What are you willing to do to get there?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the part that I like. You didn't just stop there.
You know,
You kept building upon it.
Well, even if so, what I would say is the one thing I like about I think even Nietzsche, you were saying that you have your daughter with the lip gloss, right?
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
one of the things that also that helps with entrepreneurs is that you have to have a starting point A, right?
Yeah.
Whatever
Mhm.
A is, right? So
Mhm.
A is going to be that starting point that you're going to have so many ups and downs, but it's almost like riding a tricycle, right? You're like, okay, I got it, I'm wobbly, but it's so small, you're able to work through whatever small situations that may come up. Then once that's done and you sort of have a level, you can keep going high. I think a lot of the things that stop ourselves or our people from getting to that higher level is because they see that higher level. They see using the Master P analogy, they see Master P today. They don't remember the Master P back in the early
They
80s
don't.
or
They
late
don't
that's
90s.
remember.
that's
Right. They don't remember Percy Miller.
No, they don't. They don't remember
No,
that.
right,
they don't remember when he was selling them CDs out the trunk of his
Right.
car. You know, they don't.
Right.
They
Right.
don't remember that Mama Mia was doing hair and trying to rap at the same time. So they don't.
Right.
They see that they and Erskine and I talk about this all the time. They see the end point. They
They hear
don't
it all the time.
see. They don't
they
see the
don't see the
beginning.
struggle to get there.
They have
Exactly.
no
They do
clue.
not
I
see
mean,
that
No
part.
clue.
look at Jeff Bezos in '98. He was selling CDs out of his garage.
Sure
I
was.
mean, he's
Yes.
the richest dude in the world. That wasn't yesterday. It didn't happen in a year time frame. Too many people think, oh man, I started a business. It's not profitable. We're going on a year. We don't know. Okay, keep going.
You
Yeah.
keep
Keep
going.
going. So
Yeah.
let me
See, I think the problem is you have people that just don't have the patience. And that's the frustrating part. And that's how you end up losing. You have to go through the mud to get to the top. It's almost like going to the
Ah,
gym. And a lot of people
Yeah.
don't use that concept. They don't
instant
think that way.
gratification.
There you go. You
Yes.
know,
So
it's
Say
instant
that. Yeah.
gratification. Yeah. All the time.
yes. So it
All
was.
the time.
So let me tell you about this young girl, this young lady. She's the owner of the crayon case. Okay, her name is Super. She goes by Wazam Super. Her name is Raynell. Her first name is Raynell. So I literally saw this girl. It's been 2 years ago now, going on 3 years. This no this Black Friday will be 3 years. 2 years ago, she she started a makeup line, an amateur makeup line. You know, some for amateurs, makeup artists to do whatever. That girl went and made $1 million in 60 minutes. 60 minutes selling her makeup. 60 minutes. So everybody thought that she was this, oh, she's this new phenomenon. She's became a millionaire in 60 minutes. You know, how did she do that? You know, she must have had a whole team behind her, yada 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 yada. But see, what they did not know is, and she's from New Orleans, what they did not know is that before she did that, remember when Vine was out?
Vine. Uh-huh.
She used to do bedtime stories,
Hmm.
and they was freaky bedtime stories. Just her little escapade,
Mm.
her stories about her rendezvous with, you know, the dudes or her boyfriend or whatever the case may be. She started off doing that. Okay,
Mm.
she went then she went to the shit used to be funny. I mean, she wouldn't tell you every, you know, the shit used to be funny. But then she went to Facebook. So I have been following this chick since 2012 because the shit is
Wow.
just, it's just funny. So when she came out with the makeup line, because she wanted to learn how to do her own makeup, and she got tired of people um telling her, oh, you use this brush for that, and you know, just girl stuff. um she came out with a makeup line. Everybody thought that she just hit the scene. No, baby, she been here. She was doing other stuff. She was promoting stuff at the club. She was cooking dinners just to pay her rent. You know, when she lived in an apartment where it was just her and her son. No, she's not an overnight sensation. Like, she's paid her dues. Y'all just saw the aftermath. Y'all just saw,
Mm-hmm.
because she already had a following, sh you know, y'all just saw the aftermath. So
Mm-hmm.
people need to stop thinking that business is easy. That's why I asked, is this your business,
It's
or
not
is
meant
this
for
a,
everybody.
it's not. It's
It's
not for
not.
it's
So,
not for the
so for
fainted.
y'all that
It's
that
not
that
for the
think y'all
weak.
can just go out and do it, you got, like I said, you got to have passion, dedication, and relentless. You got to be relentless, and
Raheem
do
said he
not.
need to make a makeup line. I cannot with you tonight, sir.
The thing about it, a lot of people don't understand is that happens all the time with
It
random
does.
people. The
Hmm.
thing about it is you just have to have a following and you have to have support. You know, I posted something on my Facebook um, a couple days ago, and I said, you would think that people have to pay for likes and shares. Like, for you to share something that I post, regardless if you like it, if you claim you support me, it shouldn't be hard. I shouldn't have to twist your arm
Eh,
to for you to press the
Facts,
like button, to press the
facts,
share button. You don't have to
facts,
pay for them. You
facts,
don't.
facts.
No, or
Because they're
just,
doing it for you. They're doing it for you. Period. Period.
or even just
Right.
have the conversation with random people. For example, again, I go back to my cousin Sean. Had she not posted that picture, and me being who I am and liking wine, where you get that wine from? What wine is that? I've never seen
You being a
packaging like
drunk,
that.
you being a drunk, like, hey, where you get
Yeah.
that bottle
Hey,
from?
hey, hold
And
on,
she
hold on
said,
now.
and she was like, oh, this came from one of the dudes that used to recruit for me. He got his own wine company now. I said, oh, for real? I said, he black? She said, yeah. I said, oh, that's what's up. What's his Instagram? He got Instagram, he got Facebook, he got a website. What do he got? And she was like, I don't know. His Instagram is Mr. All of Me. All right, I went on there, hit up LaShawn. Hey, how can I order? I didn't like none of his pictures. I went right in and said, "How can I order from you, sir?"
My point. That's all it
Yeah.
And
takes.
then when I posted it, my cousin was like, "Oh man, you ordered his wine?" I sure did. Yes, ma'am. I did, and it's good.
People
It is
don't
good.
realize how important
Just
that is.
just for my.
How
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh my
You
bad.
should
I was
just
just
kept
saying
on
people don't
talking.
realize how important that is to just a picture, something that's free, something that doesn't cost you a thing, and it'll give exposure to yours. You know, and
Mhm.
that brings business, and that's why I personally go to every person who shared something of mine, and I thank them, and I write them like a whole script and everything like that, because that means a lot to me.
Yes.
That brought me a customer, and I thank Chandra for that, man, and I thank you for being her friend to be able to connect, because that was just beautiful, and now it's turned around, and you're actually being able to help me again. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But you don't have to thank me. This is what I do. This is what I try to do. So you don't have to thank me, but thank you. Thank you for having that mindset to doing it. Now I just gotta go buy some cigars from Jack.
Hey, look, I put it like this: if whenever you do, you do. At the end of the day, go on my Facebook and just share something. That's all I ask. Just share something.
Okay. Okay.
Listen, I'm
Okay.
not even. I'm not even. I don't smoke. I don't smoke cigars, but I know people who do. So I am more
Me.
than happy to share this drunk smoker over here.
The
So
sinner.
right, right. Exactly. So listen,
I am not a
I have
drunk.
I have one.
I
Oh,
know.
you're
We
drunk.
just
Drunk
playing.
light. She's drunk light, y'all. Drunk light. But what
She
I
like to
will
have
do is that
fun. That's all it is.
I
Yeah,
was just getting ready to say
that's
that,
what
and
it's all about.
To get tipsy.
that I'm able to at least give you guys, even though again that I drink wine, but I don't do cigars. But even
Well,
to that
send them to
point,
my
I know
house.
people who do.
Purchase
I
them
know
and send them to
people
my
who
house.
do. So that's all about that connection and that reverence and making sure that knowing you now, meeting you now, I know the type of person that is going to be behind this product, and that is something that I can get behind.
Absolutely, and I appreciate it.
But and also, we would love for you all to like,
So much for
share,
that.
and our format right here on Unfiltered, No Chaser as well, because we
Already
actually,
done.
we want to get other small businesses out here. We talk a lot of shit on this thing, and actually, I think this is the third time I cursed this night, this evening, huh?
You
I'm doing
did
pretty
good.
good.
You did good. Yes, yes, you
I'm
did
doing pretty,
good.
and I only said shit, so now that's four times I said shit. Okay, that's
Okay,
five times. But
okay,
but yeah, we're on here every Saturday, chopping it up. Um,
right.
our guests are really interactive. They're not really interactive this evening because we're basically, getting your information out there, and trying to get you some exposure as much as we can on our end, because we like giving back to the
Absolutely.
community. If you know anybody that wants to advertise with us, tell them to hit us up so we can
Absolutely.
talk. But I want to put you all's information back up, and this time, LaShawn, I want you to talk about this. Can you see it?
Uh-oh.
Uh oh, we dropped him again.
Doggone it. I'm just gonna hold on with Darian.
Like I
Okay,
said,
Derek.
everybody, if y'all can go, this is a live event.
You didn't drop it. You didn't drop it. It was.
You got it, G. Come on, man.
I got it. I got it. I hope it gets through this whole time. All right. So the virtual smoke deck. Honestly, when we actually started talking about with Jack, it was basically like we just wanted to get on and actually have a conversation and talk. But then when we were like actually coming up with the concept of what we are going to talk about, it was so beautiful to actually be able to relate to the smoke deck in the military, where we had conversations that were so real, so raw. There were so many ethnic groups and backgrounds and people from different places being able to come together and just speak and talk to each other about whatever. And in my mind, as a person from Black, Chinese, because we had a Chinese store, Japanese, and Latinos, which was to me that spoke Spanish at the time. Um, it was so crazy just to be able to realize that there's so many different people out there, so many points of view. So when Jack was like, "Hey man, you want to have a conversation? Let's just talk about business and talk about our lives and who we are." I was like, "Man, this is great. Let's do it." Tomorrow, please tune in for this smoke back conversation. we're gonna bring it. That's all I can say. Just be prepared because it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful,
Beautiful.
Okay. I can't wait till
and
tomorrow
hopefully
comes.
my connection can stay together.
Oh, I hope so. Who do you have over there? You sound like you guys Boost Mobile over there. What's going on with you?
Whoa! Shots fired. Shots fired.
Wait a
I
minute,
think it.
Lawrence.
This
Lawrence, do
sounds
you
like
have
Metro
Boost?
PCS. Something, I don't know.
Hey,
My boy got the free
nothing
home
wrong with
spot the
Boost.
government gave away.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It sounds like NMCI on land, the Navy
Oh,
network.
oh, Jesus.
Hold on. You know I know
Download.
about that. Oh, maybe damn. Maybe I shouldn't have said it because that's who I work. Well, I don't work for them, but I work for the base commander, and we do run off of NMCI, and I fire their ass up every chance I get. I can't stand that network, but
Trash.
but I just want to thank both of
It's
you all
it's
for
terrible.
coming out to coming out to us and talking to us. And normally something that we normally do, one of us will do it, but do we normally drop jewels of the evening. Okay. So do one of you all or both of you all have a jewel that you would like to drop this evening?
um, Me personally, I feel like everybody has to condition their mind to change the enslaved mindset that you're in,
Mm.
right? And I don't care what color your skin is we all face some type of enslavement within our mind where we're saying that we can or cannot do something. You know, so many people looked me in my face and told me, getting out the Navy is gonna be the dumbest thing ever. I'm laughing at them now because again, they conditioned their mind in an enslaved mindset. So, in order to understand business, you have to understand that you have to break those shackles on your brain and really allow yourself to really be able to dive in and just do what it is that makes you you. Be you.
Right.
Stay strong, and again, like G said, is keep a lot of the things that you're thinking about to yourself until your plan is bulletproof. And I mean that. I didn't tell nobody about my lounge. They knew about it coming. Nobody knew where, nobody knew how, nobody knew nothing until it was secured. At the end of the day, nobody can stop it now.
Right.
So
Right.
that's my jewel.
LaShawn, do you have one? Do you have a jewel of the evening?
Yes, stay in love with the process. You have to
Mm.
fall in love with the process. It is going to be hard. It's going to be stressful. Your family's not going to support you. Your spouse might not even support you. Your friends might not support you. It doesn't matter. Those are all tests to see if you really want to do this thing that you really want to do. You might not get the knowledge. Are you going to quit? No, you got to go search. You got to read books. You got to give it everything you got if this is something that you want to do. Remain persistent and fall in love with the process. If you don't love the
Absolutely.
process, you're not going to make it because
Right.
this process is up and down every single day.
Right.
So you have to fall in love with it.
That's
Yes.
true.
And I have a gem of the evening also. Always move in silence. And I'm just piggybacking off of both of the guys. Always move in silence. Don't tell everybody your dream because people are dream crushers, and it can come from your family members, your spouses, or whomever. But always reach for the sky, aim high, um, do what's best for your family at all times, at all costs, and that's all I have. Erskine, LB, do you have anything?
Hey, this okay. Well, yeah, my thing is always stay positive. To kind of piggyback on what LaShawn was saying, he
Mm-hmm.
says fall in love with the process. And in order to stay
Yeah.
in love with the process, you have to keep a positive mindset. It
Yes.
all starts with the mental aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Chase the dream, push, keep pushing, don't stop. Because at the end of the day, like you said, Nietzsche, and this going back to what you were saying as well, everybody's not going to support your vision, everybody's not going to support your goal. But if it's something that you want to do, keep going forward with it. And like LaShawn said, stay in love with it. Stay in
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap it up, and we again we thank you, um, young men for coming out and chit chat with us.
The young man.
The young men. I call everybody young man. You can be 150 years old. You're still a young
Yeah.
man. You know,
I,
because
I
because I'm because at the end of the day, I don't care how old a man is. If you call him a young man, they like that. They
Oh
like
like
that.
Lord.
So so
that's
I
like calling a young lady, you know.
yeah yeah. So
So you looking young, huh? No, you old for real, for real.
yeah, you old for real, but I'm gonna call you young
Exactly.
lady. But yeah, thank once again, thank you, and we're going to say bye bye to you all.
All right,
Thank you
guys.
so much for
Have a
having
great
us.
one.
All right, bye. All right, fellas. Well, that was an excellent show. I am
Yes, it
so
was.
Awesome.
happy that we got them to come out and talk to us. So, I guess we will see everybody later. Later.
All
Alligator.
right, guys.
Later.
Have a
Peace,
great
Later.
week.
y'all.
Later.